Welcome back. You're watching Your Money and Your Life. Let's get straight into my favourite part of the show. Joining me for today's expert panel, Superhero Trading app founder John Winters and Gemma Dale from NAB Trade. Guys, how are you? Gemma, how are you seeing the market at the moment?
It's a little quiet at the moment. Quite a few of our investors have gone to the sidelines. It seems quite evident that they feel it's a bit toppy at the moment. Our cash is at record levels. It was at record levels prior to COVID when people were like, oh, I can't see anything I love. They bought like crazy last year as the market fell. It was really, really aggressive buying. Cash levels fell. They're back up again, so they're mostly sitting on the sidelines waiting for something exciting, but they're not keen to take profits either.
John, are you seeing your investors a bit quieter?
So we've actually seen net buying throughout the year. So February was a very active month for investors. The market is at record highs. It's been very strong, but we are continuing to see money flow onto the platform and a lot of people buying.
Okay, let's focus on our two stocks for the day. First up, Kogan. John, how are you seeing Kogan at the moment?
Yeah, well, Kogan's pulled back from a high of around $25. It's sitting around the $11 mark. So it's come back a long way. Revenues are up. They are saying that things are starting to normalise post-pandemic. And I don't know if that's an excuse for poor sales, but I think at these levels we are a buy.
Okay. Gemma?
Our investors are the same, so we're seeing a lot of buying. Last 5 days, though, it really had to get the price right back down for them to be interested. It's never been in our top 10. It's not one of the little growth stocks that our guys really love. It's not been super popular, but obviously when that price comes right off, they've got this really contrarian bent. They like to buy things cheap. Kogan's been a buy below 11. They like 11 as that number. They like to sit below that.
Okay. Yes for Kogan, down at these lower levels. Gemma, let's go to a totally different sector, healthcare sector, CSL. Everyone's heard of CSL because they're making our vaccines for us, but they're a massive global company, aren't they? Australian born and bred, something to be proud of. What's the view on CSL, which has also come back?
Yeah, CSL is an extraordinary Australian company. It's quite incredible, the run that it's had over many, many decades. And we've got some investors who've ridden that whole wave. They've loved it, but it's a really small proportion. It's only about 10% of our base who hold it. They have very high conviction. They have an average holding of about $150,000, which for one stock is absolutely enormous. So we only have two stocks where people love it that much. Everyone else left it to the sidelines. When it fell to below 250, which is 40% off its highs, and that was really recent, so everything else has rocketed back and suddenly CSL's back at its lows. Everyone's thinking that's incredible. We saw huge buying. Around the 270, we're starting to see some profit taking again. So it's been quite interesting. The highs are at 350, so it's still so far off its highs, but it's always on a huge multiple. So we've got a lot of investors who don't want to get back up there.
Right, so a view on sort of wait for it to come back down again, do you think?
Anyone who sees it below 250 will be on it. In our base, they will be buying really aggressively. We've got a much bigger holding now. Okay. John, what do you think of CSL?
Yeah, CSL is an interesting one. It does have a much higher share price. It's around that 270 mark, and that is often a detractor for younger investors. It is one of those older generation stocks as well. So it does have a monopoly position globally. It is making the vaccine, but I agree, we would need to see it come back a little bit more before we do see a rush. There's been net buying on the platform of CSL over the last few months, but I do think it would need to come back a bit more. I'd say a hold at these levels.
Okay, all right. Good to see you both, John and Gemma. Good share investing. Well, that's all we have time for this week, but for more money tips and expert advice, be sure to head to the Your Money and Your Life website. And also, if it's share advice you're looking for, you can also join me every weekday for the call, live at 12 noon on AusBiz or live on 7plus.